Hey guys, welcome back to Enderman's G40. I'm coming here with America's turn. It's round 4, and we got to see what we can do about these Japanese spreading out. And forgive the fact if stuff is kind of bumped out over borders and out of place. My dogs will jump up underneath the table and bump it, and they move pieces. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to move stuff back, but we'll get right into this. So we had 52 IPCs to spend this turn. We're saving one of it. And we got a bomber, a destroyer, a cruiser, a transport, 1 tank, and 2 infantry. So we're saving $1 and we're spending 51. There. So we got 1 left. And we have about 4 combats this turn. I think, I don't know, don't quote me on that, but anyway, Tokyo Bay is going to be the biggest one here. So we got 2 fighters coming in from the carrier in C-Zone 25. They're going to move 1-2 spaces. They'll have 2 movements left. Then the fighter from Wake Island is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 in there as well. And the 3 fighters from Midway are going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, they can move 3. So they'd have 2 left as well. And then this fighter from Wake has 1 left. So these 5 fighters have 2. And this guy has 1. I actually need to grab more dice here real quick. Okay, because those bombers are coming in too. So tactical bomber from Midway, 1, 2, 3. We'll also have 2 left. And these are all going into C-Zone. I don't know what this is. 6. So in Tokyo Bay. The battleship from C-Zone 1 is going to move 1, 2, 3 into Tokyo Bay. This is going to be a big battle. big battle. The bomber from Alaska is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will have 2 left. And the bomber from Soviet Far East is going to move 1, 2. So it will have 4 left. You're going to have to keep up with all that. Okay, so I think that's everything going into C-Zone 6. Into C-Zone 16, a submarine from C-Zone 25 is going to go in there. And a destroyer from C-Zone 25 is going to go in there. Try to sink that destroyer. Alright, so that's it for the Pacific side of the board. Moving on over here, we have 2 combats on this side of the world. We've got a cruiser from C-Zone 101 going 1-2 into C-Zone 90, and a destroyer from 101, 1-2 into C-Zone 90 as well. Then we have a transport picking up 1 infantry and 1 artillery from the eastern United States and moving 1, 2, 3 into C-Zone 87 and offloading into French West Africa to try to take out that traitorous Vichy French soldier there. So that's all of our combat moves. I'll set the stuff up on the board. I've already got this one set up over there because of course that's going to be huge. Didn't want to move all that. But I'll set them up and we'll get right to it. Alright guys, here we are with the Battle of Tokyo. We're starting with the big one. So from the American side we have 6 fighters at 3 or less, and we have 1 battleship, 1 tactical bomber, and 2 strategic bombers at 4 or less. Defending on the side of the Japanese are 1 submarine at 1, 5 kamikaze and a carrier at 2 or less, a cruiser at 3 or less, and 2 battleships and 4 fighters at 4 or less. So we'll start by rolling his 5 kamikaze rolls, and I'm using this stand that the phone's on for the first time, and I'm going to apologize in advance. It's super short and awkward, but I want both my hands for this. So there we have our empty cup. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice for his kamikaze that are going to be shooting at our battleship. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay, so he got 1 hit there, and then 3, 5, 2 6s. So 1 hit, and I'm setting all these dice on the board so we can recap how many hits. And then his submarine does get a surprise strike before regular combat. So we're going to roll that just with the hand. Oh, shoot, and he makes up for it with a 1. Incredible. Okay, so we're going to get into regular combat now, but first you sank my battleship. No limit. I didn't sink your battleship, and then you sunk my battleship. Man, bummer. Okay, so casualties are just going to be over there. Boxes are behind me, but... So, and then these are just here because stuff's going to get damaged. So, kamikaze are done. Submarines submerging, actually, since it has nothing can target it. I'll actually set on the board. Just so I don't accidentally take it as a casualty or get confused that it's there or anything. But my planes can't hit it and it can't hit my planes. So, guess we'll go ahead and start rolling for the Americans. So we have 6 fighters attacking at 3 or less. There are those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Empty cup. And they're going in there. And here we go. Wow. Okay. Exactly half, which is exactly the odds that we have, 50%. So 3 hits there. The 3 or 5s. So we'll put those on the board to show that those are hits for us. And then we have 3 at 4 or less. We have our 2 strategic bombers and our dive bomber. Going in there. Oh, perfect. Okay. So 7 hits is the magical number that I need on the first round of combat. 6 is really, really close, but 7 is actually the prime. So I'll just come over here and show what casualties are so far. So he's going to be taking a hit on the cruiser because we have 6 hits here. So I'll move these back. 1 hit on the carrier, that's 1. Hit on the both battleships. That's 2 and 3. 2 and 3. And then we have 4, 5. And one of those fighters is going to be its 6th hit. 6th hit. Okay, so in response, he has a carrier at 2, cruiser at 3, and then 6 rolls at 4 or less. So we'll just roll these in the hand, the small ones, the single ones. So we have a carrier at 2. That's a miss. Okay. We have a cruiser at 3. That's a hit. All right. And then we have 6. He's got 4 fighters. There. He's got 4 fighters rolling at 4 or less, and then 2 battleships. So there's Cap going in there. On high rolls. Oh no. So that really hurts. That's 6 hits. So he's got a total of 7 hits on us. Move these over here. Okay. So, well, obviously 6 of them are going to be fighters, and the 7th will be our tactical bomber. Ouch. 7 hits. Wow. I never, in all the practice rolls that I did, he never got 7 on the first round of combat. So that really, really hurts. So then all these are removed. And we're going to press on with our 2 bombers against his 2 damaged battleships and 3 fighters. So we have 2 at 4 against his 5 at 4. So there's our 2 at 4. And there's his 5 at 4. His 3 fighters and 2 battleships. And they're all going to go in the same cup. And so he got exactly 2, which is what he needed to finish us off. And I got 1 to kill 1 more of his planes. Alright. So there's the 2 bombers going as casualties. Poor guys. And then another one of his planes gets shot down. Alright, so cool. Left in Tokyo Bay, we have 2 fighters that will land in Tokyo. And 2 damaged battleships. And we'll get on with the next battle. Alright, so up next we have the battle in Sea Zone 16, and we have a submarine and a destroyer that are the Americans going up a Japanese destroyer. We could use a little bit more luck than that last battle. So there's our submarine and destroyer at 2, And there's his destroyer at 2. We'll be rolling them together since they're all the same. Alright, so we did get 1 hit, and his die was a miss. So, we'll be winning that battle with both our sub and destroyer left. Oh! Okay, so this is the battle in C-Zone 90. We have a submarine and a cruiser going up against a German U-boat. So, oh, I'm sorry. Actually, this defends at 1. Don't know why I put it at 2. So we'll have our destroyer at 2. That's a horrible miss. And then our cruiser at 3. Oh, come on. Yeah, okay, cool. So our cruiser hit. And then here's his sub at 1. That's a 6. 6. And I need to move this camera or something because it's really hard to see what's going on. At least for me. And so our cruiser will hit the submarine, sinking it. And we will have victory in C-Zone 90 as well. Okay, and this is the battle in French West Africa. This is kind of like a backwards version of Operation Torch. But we have an American infantry and artillery going up this against the Vichy French lone infantry there. So we will roll together. We've got 2 at 2 and his 1 at 2. So we'll roll those all together. And we got the hit, and his is a 4. Can't really tell there. Be able to, oh, yeah, I guess it'd be better to record from here. Okay, so, yeah, we got the hit that we needed. He missed, so victory in French West Africa as well. Just everything except for Tokyo Bay is huge success. All right, we'll fix up the board and get right back with you guys. Alright, so we're back to the board, and we just liberated French West Africa for the French, so they'll go up from 3 IPCs to 4 IPCs. The Vichy don't have an economy, so they don't lose anything, just a roundel, and an infantry. So, haha, there you go, you guys, no limit, and Warden, you guys are keeping up with the deaths, so you can add Vichy infantry to the deaths, and a whole lot of Japanese stuff. Other than that, no economy changes, so we'll get right on to non-combat moves, and the only one we've got in the Atlantic is this transport in C-Zone 101. We'll be picking up an infantry and artillery from eastern United States, moving 1, 2, and 3, and they will be landing in Brazil, taking that, and I'll chip that out real quick. Alright, so I should have had this stuff ready because I know what I'm doing. But we're going to be capturing that, getting those 3 infantry because it's pro-allies. So the Americans on the economy will go up $2 to 55 now, which is nice. That guy's not there. Okay. And they just liberated that. And over here we got a couple moves. So the cruiser from C-Zone 26 is going to move 1, 2, 3 into C-Zone 17. The carrier from C-Zone 25 is going to be moving 1, 2 into C-Zone 9. And then the submarine from C-Zone 10 is going to move 1, 2, 3 out to C-Zone 15. Okay, and another chip out. I'll hang on, gotta grab this real quick. Where's one? I need that. Okay, cool. So we'll be picking up one of these anti-air guns and this infantry from Western Canada, moving the transport from C-Zone 1, 1, 2, and landing those units in Soviet Far East. Cramming all that stuff in there. And then this transport that was already here in C-Zone 3 is going to move back, pick up our infantry and tank, and then move up 1, and land those guys in there too. Kind of pack up that front. And that is it. That's all of our combat, non-combat moves. So we'll go to place units now. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting to chip stuff out and everything. So I'll kind of clean up these chips, and then we'll go to place units and then collect our money. One more thing before we get into purchase units. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't forget anything. So this fighter from Alaska is going to fly 1, 2, 3, also landing in Soviet Far East. All right, now we can get on to placing units. So a bomber, one of the bombers, or the bomber, a tank, and one of the infantry are all going in Alaska. Big surprise there, I know. And the infantry is going to go in Eastern United States, the 2nd Infantry. The transport is going to be going in C-Zone 101. And the destroyer and cruiser are going to be going into C-Zone 10. Okay, and then we're collecting 54 IPCs. We've got 50, and we'll just add our 1 to that 54 that we saved and get 55. Alright, so that's ours to spend next turn. Got a few extra bucks, which is nice. And then we can recap. So in C-Zone 101, we have a transport. In C-Zone 90, that's C-Zone 90, we have a destroyer and a cruiser. In 86, we have a transport. In 87, we have a transport. In French West Africa, we have an infantry and an artillery. In Brazil, we have 4 infantry and 1 artillery. In the eastern United States, we have an infantry and 2 AA guns. In central United States, we have an infantry, 4 mechs, and a tank. That's the Atlantic side of the world. Over here on the Pacific side, in the western United States, we have 1 infantry. In western Canada, we have an AA gun. In Alaska, we have an infantry, a tank, and a bomber. In C-Zone 10, we have a destroyer and a cruiser. In C-Zone 9, we have an aircraft carrier that is empty. In C-Zone 3, we have 2 transports, a destroyer, a cruiser, and a battleship. In Soviet Far East, we have 3 infantry, 2 artillery, an anti-air gun, a tank, and a fighter. In Siberia, we have an infantry. In C-Zone 16, we have a submarine and a destroyer. In C-Zone 15, we have a submarine. In Hawaii, we have 2 infantry. In C-Zone 17, we have a cruiser. In Iwo Jima, we have an infantry and an artillery. And in the Philippines, we have 2 infantry. And we do get to collect our 54, I should say. We're not being convoyed anywhere. We did collect 55. What am I doing? Okay, so we did collect 55. So that extra $1, sorry about that. That extra $1 that we saved, we get that too. So we get 56 next turn. I gotta pay attention, man. Alright, so up next is Prozac with the United Kingdom. Really excited to see how this game goes in the near future, because it's been very dynamic and interesting so far, and hopefully I'm giving the Axis a run for their money and making them hopefully reevaluate their plans, but maybe not. Maybe they planned ahead for this and thought that this was an option, but who knows? We shall see, but hopefully this all ends up in Allies' victory. This is Enderman 103 saying good luck and peace out. Alright, so I almost forgot to take China's turn, but they do have a couple moves, so they start with $7 in the bank. They're spending 3 of it for 1 infantry, and they have $4 left, and they have 2 combat moves. So we're moving an infantry from Sichuan into Kwaichao, and from Kansu into Shenxi. So we'll be liberating both those territories to ourselves. So China will go up $2. Doot doot. And Japan will go down. So China goes up to 6 from 4. Japan goes down to 42 from 44, I think. Alright, then place units. We're just placing our infantry in Kansu. So in Kansu we have an infantry. In Shenxi we have an infantry. And in Kwaichao we have an infantry. Then we're collecting $6 on top of our 4 that we saved. So I'll just put one of these back. Saved 4. We're collecting 6, so we will have $10 to spend next turn. And that is actually all now for the American and Chinese turn. So good luck to you, Prozac. This is Enderman 103 saying peace out.